You didn't wake up one day and decide to live for other people. You learned it quietly, slowly, and maybe unconsciously. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Mind Growth Faculty Home for Personal Development. Episode 1 of this People Pleasing series helped you realize, oh, this is me. Then this episode will make you understand why. What do I mean? People pleasing is not inherent. It is learned. It is not inherent. No child comes into the world being afraid of disappointing people. No child is born and they just have these people pleasing qualities. No, people pleasing doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from somewhere specific and sometimes somewhere understandable. People pleasing is learned through environment. If you grew up in a place where you have to get the approval of everybody before you do anything, or you have to be good in quotes to everybody before they can say you're a good person. It will just mess up with your mind. You'll start to think that's the normal way to live your life. Just go about pleasing people. Make sure that everyone else but you is okay. Because let me tell you, the moment you are pleasing everybody, there is someone you are not pleasing, someone important you're not pleasing, and that is yourself. People pleasing is also learned through experiences, whether it's yours or people's experience. So you can just pick it and start running with it. Let's say in your office, somebody you know that is acting like a good person always gets the favors, and you are like yourself, you are yourself, you do not get favors. So you can decide to pretend to please everybody at the expense of your health, at the expense of your life, your time, your resources, your energy. That's how people just pick up these people pleasing attributes. So instead of asking, what do I want? People pleasing will make you ask, what do I need to make sure that everywhere is peaceful? What will keep the peace? I just want everybody to be okay. What should I do to make sure everyone is okay? But you're not really concerned about yourself. It is learned through your environment, maybe where you grew up or where you currently are, or your experiences, or even the condition of your emotion. So now let's talk about the roots, some of the common roots of people pleasing. Remember last week I told us that people pleasing, I will tell us why it is deeply rooted. So now let's know the roots of people pleasing. The first one is conditional love. Conditional love, when your love is tied to performance. People only love you when they see you do something for them. People only praise you when they see you do something for them. There must be an attachment to the love. So you just have to pick up the quality. Okay, I think everybody's like that. I must do something to be loved. I must do something to be loved. So when people do something for you, you are always thinking, what do they want from me? I mean, you've gotten to that extent that people cannot just do anything for doing sake in your life. There must be an attachment. There must be a reason. Like I said, I used to be like that. I remember a time somebody got me and my friend something because we had no cash. And when we went to the bakery, we went to get the bread. They, I can't even remember the exact thing that happened, but the guy ended up paying for the bread. And we thanked him and he left. But then we went outside, we waited for him just to say thank you. Maybe we were like, what if this guy wants our number? What if this guy wants? So that was a long time ago, like 3, 4 years now. Like I said, I'm a changed person. Am I not? I am. I am. So people pleasing will make you think that people always want something from you. Like conditional love. No, I cannot receive this from this person. There should be something attached to it. So you are being obedient, you are being helpful, just so you receive love from people you admire, from people you respect, from whoever it is. You are also being quiet because the person does not like people that are loud, or you are being successful just so you will not disappoint anybody. That's one of the roots of people pleasing. Conditional love. You learned that being good means being loved. So you carried that pattern into adulthood as you are growing. You you just dragged the pattern and you're running with it because all your life you'll be taught that being good means you are loved. So the good person always gets the gift. So you think, well, to get things from people, I just have to please them. to get things from people. That's one of the roots of people pleasing, conditional love. Another one is conflict heavy environment. If you grew up in a home where everybody's angry and you just go out because you do not like that toxic habit, you suppress your feelings. Maybe because you don't want to make people angry, or you grew up in a home where you just received the silent treatment. When you go outside, people are blaming you for what you're not responsible for. You always take the blame because no one else will except you. That's one of the roots of it. You grew up in a home that has conditioned that for you. So all your life, you've known that this is the way to live. So in order to avoid conflict, you do not even disagree with people because you don't want it to escalate and maybe there will be a problem. You just accept whatever it is that they throw at you. Another route of people pleasing is being the responsible one. Many people pleasers, today, they were the mature child. Oh, this child is very mature. He understands. They are the helper or the peacemaker. They're always trying to make peace. There should be no problem. There should be no trouble between this. There should be no, there should be no, there should be no, there should be no. And you just grew up like that. Well, this girl understands. Well, she does not give trouble. She's such a good girl. Oh, I love her. So you thought, well, I have to keep up with these habits. Even when you're not okay, I have to keep up with these habits because people love people that are like that. Another route, hey, I have to talk about this, of people pleasing is misunderstood faith. I'm a Christian. Hmm? Sometimes people hide or people pleasers hide spiritual under that spiritual language. They they feel they are being humble. They feel they are serving, even when they know they are not. Even when they know that if you tell them to express themselves the way they are, you'll be so shocked that this person, I don't know this version of this person. So they hide under, okay, maybe because I'm a Christian, I shouldn't say no to people, or because I'm a Christian, I should not disagree with people, or because I'm a Christian, when people hurt me, I should allow them to keep hurting me, provided that it is for their good. A lot There are lots of stories to tell about this, but I'm not going to tell any story about this. But that's one of the common roots of that's one of the common roots of people pleasing. Misunderstood faith. People think because you're a Christian, you should accept any and everything they throw at you. So they've already conditioned your mind. Well, they'll just gaslight you. I know a Christian. I'm not supposed to. I know you get. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of persons are people pleasers. They say, you know what? I don't want this person to be angry with me. Well, I'm a Christian. I don't want to bring the name of God in vain, or I don't want to drag the name of the Lord through the mud. So I will accept whatever this person is going to give to me. That's how it grows. You want to be the good child, the good Christian that does not like trouble, or the Christian that you are just the good person, the nice person. Oh, you're a very nice person. Meanwhile, you are dying inside. That's one of the common roots of people pleasing. Now let me tell you why people pleasing feels so hard to stop. First one, it reduced conflict. First one, it reduces conflict. So people do not want to be in a state of conflict. If you are always pleasing people, you try to avoid conflict because there's no way you'll be with people and there will not be maybe conflict, disagreement, misunderstanding. So because you don't want any of those, you just please them. But life is not a bed of roses. I mean, people will annoy you, people will hurt you. You will say something that will get somebody hurt, or you will do something that somebody will not like. We won't have the same opinion. We can disagree on something and still be okay. But people pleasers, they just do not want, once it's something that is, once it is, I bring my idea, you bring my idea, and our ideas are different, they don't want it. They just want to say yes to whatever it is you're saying. So since it reduces conflict, that's why it's so hard to stop people pleasing. Another one is that people pleasing ends praise. It ends the praises of people. People will keep telling you you're a very nice person. I will recommend you. You are good. You will go places. I used to say, after telling me I'll go places, please give me transport fare. Because will I trek? So because it earns praises, people they just find it very difficult to stop people pleasing. So you know what? Since I get these praises, people acknowledge and admire me. People people give me approval. So let me just get on with it. Because of that, your nervous system and you believe that if I stop this thing I'm doing, then what I am receiving will stop. Then it means I will lose something, whether it's your praise or whether it's whatever. That's what's to be telling you. Once you stop people pleasing, you will lose something. You need to be compassionate. Not for others this time around, but for yourself because you need it. If only you had compassion on yourself, you'd also consider your emotions, consider your feelings too. I used to tell myself, listen, consider others, but prioritize you. Even Jesus did not meet all the expectations people had for him. He walked away from crowds when necessary. Yes, he had compassion on them. He met with his disciples alone. And yet he never apologized for being obedient to God. Even when even when people were trying to put him down, he did not fall fall into that trap because he wants to save everybody. He will now fall into the trap of the Jewish people. He will now fall into their trap and say, well, since I'm trying to save these people, whatever they say, let me agree. So they will accept me as a good person and then they will not accept me as their savior. He never did that. He stood to the truth no matter what. And that's the kind of mindset I want you and I to have. I already said this last week. You're not called to be liked by everyone. You just have to be liked by people that matter. And one of them is God. And God already loves you. So now, how do I heal from the roots? Now I have mentioned the common roots of people pleasing, why you have it. How do I heal from the roots? Healing doesn't start with just changing the behavior immediately. Like I said, it's a process. So it starts with asking yourself vulnerable questions that demand honest answers. So the first question I want you to ask yourself is, where did I learn this? Identify if it's the environment or experience, or because you're a Christian, people expect you to live a certain kind of way, or just identify, where did I learn this? Next question I want you to ask yourself, ask, what was I trying to protect? For me to be like this, what was I trying to protect? Is it the praise I get from people or the approval I get from people or whatever it is I get from people? What was I trying to protect that made me to stick with people pleasing even when I am not supposed to? You don't need to be ashamed of it if you're a people pleaser. Like I said, I boldly said that I was. I still am, but just a sprinkle because I am learning to become better. Like I said, it's a process. So you don't need to shame yourself. You don't need to be ashamed because you're a people pleaser. You just have to do it gently. Before you know it, you will let go of that habit. It's not something you just stop at once because there's still the guilt that will come. There's still a lot of things that would come. But you are not too much. You're not bad at boundaries. You just adapted to something you thought would help you survive. A survival strategy. You were just surviving. But now you know better. You should do better. You are allowed to choose differently. So choose differently. So in the next episode, you're going to talk about the hidden costs. I mentioned a few last week, but I'm really going to talk about it extensively. Talk about the hidden cost of people pleasing and what it takes and what it quietly takes from your joy, your clarity, your person, your calling, and all of that. So do not miss next week. So do not miss next week's episode. It's going to be an interesting one as usual. Last question I want you to ask yourself, what would happen to me if I show up honestly? If you're being honest to yourself and with yourself, what is going to happen? People will just look at you differently, but they will learn that this guy has boundaries. And this guy you don't treat this guy this way. This guy is still good even if he tells you no. So let me leave the rest of the details for next week's episode. I don't want to make this too much. Okay? See you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. and turn on your notification to get updates once I drop next week's episode. Thank you for listening to me and thank you for watching. Bye.